My name's Robert Bakewell. I'm the Chief Financial Officer of Arrium Limited, and I've been here just over 2.5 years now. Our assessment really is that, particularly in the iron ore space that we're in, is that there's still a number of years to go where prices will be at historical highs. They may not reach the peaks that we've seen in the last 18 months, but we're certainly very confident that we'll see price levels at historic highs, which will more than support both our existing business but also the expansion that's underway. By this time next year we'll be the 4th largest producer of iron ore in the country. By about April, May next year we should be at a run rate of 12 million tonnes per annum. So we've still got a lot of confidence, particularly in the iron ore business. I think Australia is very good at mining. I think we've got a very strong mining industry, and I think it makes sense to specialise in what you're good at. So I don't see it as being a question of the mining industry being overrepresented. I think it's other areas of the economy that need to be strengthened. So I look at it in those terms. But I do think it makes a lot of sense for us to exploit what we're good at. And mining we're particularly good at. There's a lot of countries that have got significant resources. There's very few countries that are actually able to turn that into a viable and very profitable industry as we have been able to. One of the advantages with the Arrium's mining business is that we're very much based in Whyalla. So we have a very strong community in Whyalla. We're very well known and a large employer in Whyalla. So that gives us access to not just the skills base that's there, but it also gives us the opportunity to offer to people, if they come to work for Arrium Mining, the ability to live in a community that's already established rather than some of the fly-in, fly-out businesses that you have elsewhere. We also now have our offices in Adelaide, dealing with the mine expansions that are underway, and again that gives us an attractive base where we think we can attract skilled people to. Obviously you need the technical skills, so you've got to build a team around the technical skills, both front office and back office. But I think particularly for a company like Arrium that's exposed to a number of different currencies, different geographies and different businesses in mining, steel and mining consumables, it's also a matter of having a team that understands to a deep extent the business and in particular the nature of risks that the business is facing, and then is able to bring their technical skills to address the risks that business managers are facing. And that's really the function of a modern treasury, if you like, as opposed to merely providing funding and looking after the capital structure. Is actually working with the business to help them address the risks that they're facing and look for opportunities to help them improve their businesses. I think adaptability is probably one of the keys these days. In my career I've moved to a number of different countries. I've worked in Australia, I've worked in Hong Kong, in Japan, in the UK and also in Switzerland, and travelled to a host of different countries. And I think the ability to adapt to different cultures, different business environments, gives you a good grounding and gives you the opportunity to really show leadership in the finance area. I'm not sure that there are any specifics that are needed for the mining and resources sector. As I said in one of my earlier answers, adaptability is really key, particularly to finance leaders. Of course it helps to have some experience, particularly around mine planning and resources, pricing, costing, etc. But ultimately if you're moving into a leadership position, that is the breadth of experience. The technical skills are taken for granted. It's breadth of experience and then the ability to adapt and change and meet new challenges. We've got a number of programs aimed at different levels of finance people within the organisation, ranging from developing basic finance skills, going up to tailored leadership programs and mentoring opportunities, particularly for those that we've identified as having significant leadership potential in the future. We're also actively engaged in moving people between divisions and between businesses and between disciplines to give particularly those that we've identified as potential leaders the opportunity to get a breadth of experience of not just the treasury and finance functions but also how they interact with businesses. My advice, and it's not just to finance professionals, is to challenge yourself and to have a go at new and difficult things. If you've got an interest in moving into leadership positions, if you've got ambitions and designs on your career, then I think you've really got to put yourself in positions that are difficult, that are challenging, because I think in most cases you'll find you're able to step up to the challenge. And it's not a question of concern about failure. I think you're better off having a go, and you're more than likely to succeed if you back yourself and have a go at something.